Hi, so one thing that you might want for your game is a prompt to come up when you're over an object such as a door or a pickup. There are a number of ways of doing this, and I'm going to cover another one at some point soon. But for now, let's do a really nice quick one that you may use. I'm not 100% personally happy with it myself, but it might work for your game. If I have this basic object, which is a statue from the starter content, which I've just borrowed and stuck a different material on to make it a bit more visible in the level, I'll just set that location to 0, 0, 0 to get it at the origin. What I also need is another object to act as some sort of trigger when you're near it, and you can use this trigger again for other things. So this is pretty useful if you want to have other events happen when you are over an object, not just for this prompt tutorial. What I'm going to do is use one of the basic meshes that you can get as my trigger. Let's choose the cube, and again just set that to 0. I'm going to have to probably change that one actually. 0, 0, 0. And just move this up a little bit so it's covering the statue. What you can then do is select your cube and your statue, and in blueprints, which is along the top here, select this option called Convert Selected Components to Blueprint Class. It's quite long, but it's quite obvious where it is. So we select that. Oh, actually, no, scratch that. What I'm going to do first is just select the box again and scroll all the way down and just make sure that the collision is not block all, but is a trigger on the box. You'll definitely need to do this beforehand, so just double check that. Now, yeah, again, just get those two items and select that Convert Selected Components option. And I'm just going to save that, and I'm going to call it statue blueprint, just whatever name you want to give it. It's probably a bit more sensible than mine, but I just want to make it obvious to where it is in my list. And there we go. Now you need to delete the shared root, and again I'm just going to name these so I can actually work with them. I'll call this my trigger, and I'll call this just the statue or something like that. Now another thing you will need at this point is to have your prompt, and the prompt's actually always going to show up. Actually, to make it easier, and we'll need to do this anyway, is select the trigger again and just scroll down in these details, and where it says visible and hidden in game, untick visible and tick hidden in game. The reason is that you don't really want the box visible ever, and it gets in the way of this next step. So now, add a component, and to have your prompt, you want to look for a billboard. You can either just scroll down, it's almost near the bottom, or you can just type in billboard in search and select billboard. Now we get the famous UE dragon head, and I'm just going to move that out a bit. And you could use this, but I've got another texture I want to use, which is like an Xbox 360 texture. Why is this not doing what I want it to? Oh yeah, I just typed in the wrong thing. I typed in there. Oh, that's the blueprint. I'll just quickly close this thing. I might have done something a bit wrong there. Right, no, that's fine. And yeah, now we've got that set up with a little prompt on the front. Oh, one more thing about the prompt, just make sure that it's not hidden in game, because that's also annoying. And now go to Event Graph, and you've got quite a few options here built in. We're not going to use any of those at the moment. We're going to search for event actor, and we want the begin and the end ones. So I don't believe we can do them both at the same time, so we'll just do it again. That's right click to select this. Event actor, and we want end overlap as well. So we've got both these nodes in the blueprint editor, and one last thing we want to do here, and it's good that they've made the actual blueprint editor much smarter, because if I search for visible now, and toggle visibility, which is the one I want, and it's automatically selected the billboard, which is your prompt. So all I've got to do is wire this begin and the end to it, and that's all I need to do. The only other thing I'm going to do is over here, and I'm going to switch for visibility again and use the same billboard, but this time I'm going to do set visibility billboard and just connect it up to the event begin play, and compile it and save it, and that should be good to go. One other thing I'm going to do is just, because otherwise we'll get the prompt. Yeah, the prompt will get confused. I'll just move it a little bit away from my player, and let's make it face my player. As I said, you could improve this or use a different method. That should be good to go. So hit play now. There's no prompt. Walk towards it, and when I'm next to it, you see the prompt comes on. When I go away, it stops. It disappears again. There are a couple of other things you can try to improve this. You might want it just when you're facing, because if I come from another angle, it's going to do it just when facing towards the object. Maybe have it come up. It's not a big thing for a door. I mean, you have it on the front of the door before you enter it, so you can make it look a bit better. But for this sort of object, something not square, it's a bit of a pain. To me, it just doesn't look that great, but it might work for your game. So I hope you find that kind of semi-useful. Obviously, as I said, you can use these triggers to, say, if I'm over it and I press a key, now, as well as the prompt, it would also pick up the object, for example, or do an animation. Well, I hope you've kind of gathered how to work with having prompts and a bit about trigger volumes, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.